So in this part, I am going to discuss about the transformer design. So this is second part of the video. In first part, I have discussed about the general principle of transformer working and power transformer. So now I am going to discuss about the distribution transformer. So power transformer we have already discussed. Now distribution transformer I am going to discuss. So what is distribution transformer, how it works, that I will going to discuss. So distribution transformer, you see, load on the transformer does not remain constant. In power transformer, load was constant, but in distribution transformer, load does not remain constant. You see, in your street side, the load is not constant because every time load is changing. Suppose sometimes some more loads are there, like the distribution transformer here. If you see, in case of distribution transformer, what will happen? This is your secondary side. So here load current, here load is connected, this side is load. So what will happen? Sometimes load may be zero also. Sometimes load is very high, sometimes load is less, but it varies from 0 to full load. So in distribution transformer, the load is not constant, every time it is changes, but varies instant to instant over 24 hours a day. 24 hours the load is varying on the distribution transformer. It is used near your house, and in a street you have seen that transformer is distribution transformer. Generally designed for maximum efficiency about 3/4 the full load. Means its efficiency is designed at 75% of full load. 3/4 means 75% of full load. 75% of full load means, suppose if your full load transformer is full load current of the transformer is 100 ampere, so its efficiency will be maximum at 75 ampere. Means if you give 100 ampere, then efficiency will not be maximum. If you give 0 ampere secondary side, also efficiency will not be maximum. It will be maximum at around 75%, means 75 ampere if you are connecting load here. This I2 current is if 75 ampere, then it will be giving maximum efficiency for full load current of 100 ampere. If full load current is suppose change, if full load current is suppose 200 ampere, suppose if full load current IFL is 200 ampere, then as per our design parameter, the efficiency will be maximum at 75% of full load current. Means 75% means how much? 150 ampere. So its efficiency will be maximum at 150 ampere. It is designing like that. In order that the all day efficiency is high, iron loss is made less. All the time efficiency, iron loss should be made less by selecting a lesser value of flux density. So here flux density should be less. In power transformer, flux density was more. In other words, the distribution transformer are generally designed for lesser value of flux density. Here flux density is lesser. Flux density, flux by area, flux density, that is B equal to 5 by A, it is lesser as compared to power transformer. Since the distribution transformer are located in the vicinity of load, it is near to load, voltage regulation is an important factor. Here the voltage regulation is important factor. You know already what is voltage regulation. Voltage regulation means voltage at no load minus voltage at full load divided by voltage at full load. This is called voltage regulation. So this is important part in case of distribution transformer because it is connected near to the load. So load is fluctuating. Once load is fluctuating, so this voltage will also fluctuate. But in spite of that variation of so many load, the voltage variation should not be more. voltage regulation, it may be maximum 2 to 5% voltage regulation is allowed. It should not go beyond that. So voltage regulation should be as small as possible and efficiency should be as more as possible. Generally, the distribution transformer are not equipped with tap changer to maintain constant voltage as it increases the cost. Here tap changer is not there. Tap changer is provided for power transformer. For distribution transformer, tap changing is not provided, so that cost can be reduced. Maintenance charge also needed if you put this tap changer. Thus, the distribution transformer are designed to have a low value of inherent regulation by keeping down the value of leakage reactance. So, these are the some differences between the power transformer and distribution transformer. Now, this is the sum of the equation that you have. That is the very useful equations for case of the transformer. So, transformer rating of transformer in kVA, voltage unit is volt, current unit is ampere, so its unit will be volt into ampere, and if you divide by 1000, it will convert into kVA. So, dividing 1000 or multiplying by 10 to the power minus 3, both are same thing. So, rating of the transformer in kVA is V1 I1 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 3. This is called your primary side. Rating and secondary side, both rating of a transformer is same. So, V1 you can also write it as E1 in case of ideal transformer. So, V1 is the supply voltage here you see, and this E1 is the induced EMF. Once I am just drawing like this, this is the core of the transformer, and you see here this winding is placed on the transformer, and this you can see here, is very easily you can see this is the voltage V1 and here the voltage is E1. If transformer is ideal, so this losses will be neglected. Losses equal to 0. So V1 you can write as its E1. So E1 multiplied by I1 into 10 to the power minus 3, and E1 is 4.44 phi m multiplied by the frequency multiplied by the term on the primary side. So this is the equation for E1 primary induced EMF in the transformer. This relation is the induced EMF in the transformer is 4.44 phi m multiplied by the frequency multiplied by the term. So F is the frequency, phi m is the flux. So flux here, phi m is the flux, T1 is the number of term in the primary side. This is called induced EMF in the primary multiplied by I1. This I1 is same, 10 to the power minus 3. This will be in kilovolt ampere, kVA. So transformer generally, what we study is generally single phase, shell type and cold type transformer we are going to design. So single phase transformer type, shell type transformer. That diagram I will show in next slide. Rating of the transformer in kVA. So this rating for shell type also the rating is same as general principle single type core transformer rating, and for shell type of transformer also the rating is same. For three phase transformer, what you have to do is 3 unit of single phase transformer is connected, so its power rating will be 3 times the single phase transformer. So V1 I1 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 3, this relation and this relation is same here. It is replaced by E1 multiplied by, so 3 you have to multiply for 3 phase transformer. So 3 will be here. So power, this 3 will come here. So this is the power rating, means 3 times of the 3 phase core type transformer has been increased here. Core type and shell type, these 2 types of transformers are given. You see here in this diagram, the core type and shell type diagram is given here. You see single phase, this is your single phase core type transformer. You see what is the here high voltage side and low voltage side. half portion is high voltage, half portion is low voltage. Then this side half portion low voltage, half portion high voltage. This side is broken into two parts, high voltage side and low voltage side. Same case like this also, low voltage, high voltage, low voltage. This is the connection for single phase core type transformer, and this is three phase core type of transformer. You see 1, 2 and 3. This constitute one phase, second phase and three phase. So this is three phase core type transformer, and this is shell type transformer. You see here shell type of transformer, high voltage, low voltage, and high voltage. Basically the difference is that half voltage is applied here and half voltage is applied here, and half voltage is given here, half given here. So this is called your shell type transformer. Power rating capacity of core type and shell type transformer, that is same in both the cases. That output equation is given in this slide. This output equation you have also studied in first year, but for if you want, you can derive very easily this relation. That suppose phi equal to, I am writing like here, only I am going to consider magnitude sine omega t. If you write this like this, then induced EMF E will be d phi by dt. You just put the value of phi here, phi m, d phi m sine omega t and by dt. So phi m is maximum value, you can take it out, phi m, and differentiate it. Omega will come out also, omega, and cos omega t will be this. Then E equal to this much. Induced EMF is this much. So what is the maximum value of this induced EMF? I am writing here E max. E max is this much. This maximum value will be this much. Phi m and omega. Omega you can write 2 pi into f. So E max is this. This is the maximum value of the induced EMF. So RMS value, what will be the E RMS? And E RMS is generally denoted by E, and E1 I am going to write it by capital E RMS value. So what you have to do, E max divided by root 2. Maximum voltage is how much? This is the maximum voltage, phi m 2 pi f by root 2. So you divide this 2 pi by root 2, it will come 4.44, and phi m into f. This is for single term. If you have t number of term, then you have to multiply it by t. So 4.44 phi frequency, phi m, and number of term will be multiplied here. It is for single term. So if t number of term is there, then induced EMF will be like this. So this is the very fundamental equation. So induced EMF of a transformer is 4.44 phi frequency multiplied by phi n into number of term. So okay, next time I will discuss further some designing parameter what we can do, that we'll see in next